Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 here on the back of our 2021 Ford Bronco. So this is going to be an excellent way of carrying your bikes. Of course, the Kuat NV has that style, has that nice look to it. Kuat always doing a great job of making sure they have a little bit of design in there. I really like the copper orange accents throughout this guy, but it doesn't just stop there. The capability of this thing is excellent. You are getting a very wide wheelbase, as you guys can see. A, that's also going to be versatile and adjustable, and B, you are going to have a 60-pound weight capacity per bike on here. That's amazing. You can go ahead and throw on your big heavy e-bikes with no problem. Even those big old bikes can have no issue at all, as we do have 60 pounds capacity here for ourselves. So I really do like that. Now, one thing I will say, we are on the Ford Bronco today. Now, we do have a little bit of caveat with that because we do have a couple different hitch options available here at eTrailer. Only two of them as of filming this video. On the inside there, you can see we are working on our draw tight hitch. Now that hitch is extending you about 6 more inches away from your bumper than the Kurt offers you. And as you guys can see, that's almost integral to actually allowing us to get past our spare tire holder here though. So I think if you are on that smaller hitch, and I don't quite know the exact ratings of the standard hitch that the Bronco comes with in that towing package, that could be an issue for you. So one of the things I really like is this longer draw tight hitch. It is going to be a little bit more overrated than what the Bronco can actually pull, but you're getting away from that spare tire, allowing ourselves to actually carry these big old carriers on there, which I do love to see. So you are going to have a front tire hold on the Kuat NV as well. That's going to make it really easy to go ahead and secure almost any bike on here. With that though, that's allowing you to carry your carbon frame bikes, as we don't have a frame contact, therefore we're not going to be warping or deteriorating our carbon frame bikes. Going to be excellent for that. And if you do have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or kids bikes, sometimes you start running into issues with those if you start comparing them to like a hanging style rack. Now I know we're on a platform here today, but as long as we have one good front tire, we're going to have an excellent time of holding on, make sure our bike gets there nice, safe, and sound for ourselves. So the platform is awesome. Yes, they got that 60-pound capacity, but you do have a lot of versatility with it. This cradle here that's holding your back tire actually adjusts this entire length of here, which is great. I believe you got about a 48-inch wheelbase at maximum that this guy can carry, which is definitely nice. Great that we're not too worried about that, and it can adjust, which I love to see. You do have this nice little cable lock too on each end of your platform. So one's going to be independent for your bikes. That makes it really nice to go ahead and make sure you're securing your bikes there, making sure nobody can take them when you leave them unattended. The grip system here works really, really well too. Bringing that down won't be popping up unless I actually hit that lever, and that's going to allow me to actually take my bike off. So you are going to be knowing it's nice and secured on there. And I do like this resistance these guys have. They're a little harder to move sometimes. Nothing crazy, but what's nice about that, as you'll see as we fold this up later, they won't be making contact with our vehicle, which I love. Now, it's not going to take me too much time to get the bike off of here. However, this guy actually can tilt away with your bike on it. Now, to do that, all we have to do, hold this lever right here, pull it towards us, and allow that to tilt away. Now, unfortunately for us here today, not going to give us enough clearance here on the Bronco. Our spare tire is going to be right in the way. It is going to be making contact right there. I'll make sure I'm not hitting that inner rim. And as you guys can see, we are going to have solid contact on the rubber tire with the very back of our Kuat NV. That doesn't mean I don't have this nice little access here. Now, obviously, it's not great. I'm only getting, as of right now, I'm only getting about 14 inches of clearance, right? So that's not a lot of room. Now you might be able to fit a small cooler or something out of here. However, then you're making constant contact. I like that it's on the rubber, not the rim. We're not having any kind of scrapage going on, but definitely kind of a bummer that we can't get full access to here. Now I have seen a couple of the other bike racks we've tried on here today actually be able to get underneath that and actually have that open up. However, that's with the bikes completely removed. So we haven't found a bike carrier yet that can actually keep your bikes on there and tilt away. Hopefully we will find one. But for now, you are kind of being stuck with either taking your bikes off of some of the other platforms or working with what you got here on the Kuat NV. So unfortunate that we can't get that hatch open, but still, that's only one loss of one of our awesome specs. We actually have a lot more to come. We can go ahead and take our bike off of here though. To do that, all we want to do is simply pop open this by simply pressing in on our lever. That's going to allow us to take our strip out. You do have a nice little matting on the inside there to go ahead and prevent any damage to your rims, which is great. And then that does bring us to our last holder on our bike. We want to make sure we're holding on to it. That way we don't tilt into our vehicle or ourselves to cause any damage. I can come right up to that ergonomic grip, press in on that lever, get that up, out to the side, and now I can simply just walk my bike right off. So mounting it becomes just as easy, almost easier, because you're setting it in there, which is very nice, and then it just hangs ready for you to go, which is great for ourselves. So love that. And to bring these arms in takes no time at all. I like to bring them in just because we're reducing that space a little bit, and of course just adding back our strip here to go ahead and start securing that in. Well, another important thing we want to keep in mind here is going to be our clearance and how much length we're adding to the back of our vehicle. So as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch mounted accessories. So we are going to be a little bit worried about this, as it is pretty much really well extended from that rear axle, and that is also thanks to that draw tight hitch, as we are getting further away. But we can go ahead and see from the ground to the very bottom here of our carrier, that's putting you at 24.5 inches there, guys. So definitely going to be a lot of space between us and the ground, which I love to see, about 2 whole feet. So I don't think we're going to have too much issue, but like I said, if you find yourself approaching a lot of terrain, I know the Bronco is kind of built to just go anywhere that it wants to, right? Get that goat mode. I would say you're probably going to be A-okay with it. But check it if you do have a very steep incline that you're approaching consistently, or if you just have a lot of up and downs that you guys are going to be approaching. So just something to be conscious of, but it's not going to be the end of the world. And we actually do want to go ahead and take a look at how much length we're adding from the rear of our vehicle. I think I'm going to have to go underneath it here to go ahead and actually get a straight line. But from the back of the vehicle to the very end now, that's putting you at 39 inches to the very end there of our repair stand. So that's not too much room being added, honestly, compared to some of the other 2-bike platforms out there. However, it is quite a lot, right? And maybe we want to go ahead and pull this in the garage, or maybe we're parking after we have our bikes down. We actually can shorten that up quite a little bit. Maybe you're just tooling around town, doing a little errand running. To get this up and out of the way, we're going to go right back to that lever we utilized earlier, bringing it right up into position here and locking it there, which is great. I love what Kuat does here. You have very little shake that locks in place, no pins or clips to worry about. And also what I really like, you have this resistance on the arm, right? So yes, it can move when I'm directly hitting it, but you're not going to have that with normal road shake, right? And even then, you're not really having that much road shake because of how our anti-rattle system works. So not going to be worried about this making contact with the back of here, even though it is our spare tire. I know we're not too worried about that, but nice that we're not actually having those arms walk themselves in. That is great to see. And we can go ahead and actually check how much space we shaved down. Now from the back of the bumper, let me go ahead and one more lower to hit that lower guy. That's putting you at 21 3/4 of an inch to the very end of your anti-rattle device. And just to give you guys this little measurement here, that's putting you about 2 1/4 inches between your spare tire and your Kuat NV. So love to see that is interacting really well, and we are staying not too far from this spare tire, right? So we're not really adding too much distance compared to what you normally would have, which you love to see. Moving our way down to the inside, though, here you guys can see we are working on a 2-inch shank. Now, one thing I might suggest, we don't have it shown here today, but is an etrailer hitch pin alignment collar. That makes it really easy to go ahead, slap on there. And if you guys are really annoyed of pulling this on and off every time, you can go ahead, put that in that front collar, and then you won't be doing what we had to do and align this pin every time. This guy right here in the back is a little locking core. This will be key to like, of course, to your lock cables that are found on each side of your platforms, which is awesome to go ahead and get that all in one key. And then you do just have that as an alignment pin there. Where the real work is coming for this guy and where you're getting all your anti-rattle measures from is this little spinner right here. So this anti-rattle device is on the outside, tightening a cam on the inside of our shank, bringing this all online to one system, making for a nicer, smoother ride overall. As you guys are seeing, it's actually making us shake the entirety of the Bronco here, bringing it all online with one system. Again, taking all that road shake and play out, making for a nicer, smoother ride for you, yourself, your bike rack, and especially your bikes. And one thing I really like about it too, it does have a little like hex bolt insert. You're going to have the included wrench with it. All you have to do, insert that, really give it a couple tugs, and that way you know you're going to have it nice and secure, especially for those longer road trips where you don't want to check it every 50 miles or so. We can go ahead, tighten that down, and be sure we're good to go till the next gas stop. The one last feature on this guy, I know there's a ton of them, but that's why it's one of the premium bike racks, is going to be our repair stand here. All we have to do, flip that guy out, walk this up, bring it down, and go ahead and open this guy. And that's going to allow me to place my bike right in there, cinch it up, start working on it, And that way, if we do get the trails and all of a sudden something's wrong, we don't spend our whole entire drive for nothing. We can go ahead and repair our bike right where we're there, or maybe halfway along the trail, we damage it. Again, we can repair it, and therefore, no bike gets left behind. Now, it's not something you constantly need, and if it's not, then maybe you could look at the Kuat NV base. It is going to come only in a matte black version, so it is going to be a little different for color options, but you're not going to have this repair stand getting in your way if it's something that, you just don't need. Not all of us do, so that could be an option for you as well. And speaking of options, if you guys aren't quite liking the gunmetal gray, even though it does look really, really good, there is going to be a black option as well for the Kuat NV if you guys are wanting that as well. So that can be a nice little way of giving yourself a little bit of accessorization for you guys at home. All in all, though, the Kuat NV is the top-of-the-line bike rack for a reason. You got the style, right? You guys can see that for yourself. Those accents are throughout it. I really, really like how this system works, especially for me. We don't have any bike stands, so it's really nice to hold my bike, push that in right there, get that folded down, and then get my bike loaded up. It's really, really easy to use, and therefore, I don't have to spend time picking up my bike off the ground. Now, I think a few of ours have them, but not all of them. So time after time, I find myself just dropping that, and then therefore, it's really, really easy to work. All in all, going to be a great little bike rack, guys. Get you 2 bikes to your destination. And one last thing with it, if you want to later on, you can actually have 4 bikes on this guy. It has an extension available. So, we got the 4-door Bronco. We can bring 4 friends or 3 other friends along, and therefore everybody can bring their bike to the trailhead as well. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the Kuat NV 2.0 here in the back of our 2021 Ford Bronco. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.